Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zheng. Recently, the tension in the Taiwan Strait is escalating. People are asking, is World War III coming? Well, today let me share with you some exclusive content that I found and translated to give you more food for your thoughts. Maybe you can draw your own conclusion after watching the videos I'm going to play for you. So first of all, let's watch Xi Jinping's speech at the event commemorating the 110th anniversary of the Xinhai Revolution in Beijing on October 9th. By the way, the Xinhai Revolution is also called the 1911 Revolution. It happened in 1911 when China's last imperial dynasty, the Qin dynasty, ended. It led to the establishment of the Republic of China, which was the first democratic republic in Asia. The real Republic of China is in Taiwan now, but the CCP always commemorates the 1911 revolution too, to pretend that the CCP is the legitimate successor of the 1911 evolution. In order to save time, I have sped up Xi Jinping's speech so his voice may sound a little weird. So now let's watch his speech.
民族祸乱而产生，必将随着民族复兴而解决。这是中华民族历史演进大势所决定的，更是全体中华儿女的共同意志。万同胞都要站在历史正确的一边，共同创造祖国完全统一、民族伟大复兴的光荣伟业。中华民族具有反对分裂、维护统一的光荣传统。台独分裂是祖国统一的最大障碍，是民族复兴的严重隐患。凡是数典忘祖、背叛祖国、分裂国家的人，从来没有好下场，必将遭到人民的唾弃和历史的审判。台湾问题纯属中国内政，不容任何外来干涉。任何人都不要低估中国人民捍卫国家主权和领土完整的坚强决心、坚定意志、强大能力。祖国完全统一的历史任务一定要实现，也一定能够实现。
Okay, I think everybody has understood his message loud and clear. He's dead set on reunifying Taiwan, and anyone who is in his way will be eliminated. So right after Xi Jinping's speech on October 12th, the official website of the CCP's Military of National Defense released a video of the CCP's Army PLS beach landing and assault drills in Fujian province. So now let's watch this video together. And at the end of another video, they have a PLA commander saying that this drill has given the PLA a real wartime environment to test their beach landing combat capability, etc. It is not clear when this drill was done, but the fact that the official website of the CCP's Ministry of National Defense released it only several days after Xi Jinping's speech, and the fact, as you can see, they actually added English subtitles to the video makes it very clear that the CCP Army wants to strengthen Xi Jinping with some real muscle, and the CCP really wants to get the message out to the entire world. There is another thing to be noticed. Let's say a screenshot from a video we just played. So you can see those who are dressed. So you can see there are police officers sitting in the audience. There are also soldiers in the audience. Let's see another picture. So you can see those who are dressed in white color uniforms are actually from the CCP's Navy forces. And all these pictures are captured from the CCTV's report. And so there are also PLA, People's Liberation Army officers. So from the different type of uniforms, we can see that PLA's Navy, Air, and Ground forces, as well as armed police officers, are all in the audience. Also, the CCP especially shows close-up shots of these PLA officers in the audience for the entire world to see. As far as I am concerned, there was no mention of military personnel attending the same kind of event during the 90th anniversary in 2001 or the 100th anniversary event in 2011. This is the first time that I saw the military personnel attending this kind of event. So again, what are the messages the CCP wants to give to the world? Yesterday, I spent the entire day translating a 10-minute speech by CCP's top national advisor, Professor Jin Chan, who is the Deputy Dean of the School of International Studies, Deputy Director of the Center for American Studies of Renmin University in China. Chinese people all know that Renmin University means People's University of China, and it specialized in training high-level officials and cadres for the CCP. So it is a very important university. The reason that I choose to translate his full speech on the 10 benefits of taking back Taiwan is that through his speech, we can see what is on the CCP and Xi Jinping's mind. Some people might dismiss his speech as nonsense, but the problem is Xi Jinping might think the same. So we'd better learn how they think to know how they may act later. So let's play and talk about Jin Chan's 10 benefits one by one.
它问题解决至少10大收益，至少啊10大收益。第一，我们国家战略地位改善，是吧？中国其实海洋条件挺好的，但是原来我们有个弱点啊，就是我们出去不远嘛，从海疆出去不远，遇到一个第一岛链，就给封到里边了，知道吧？这个，但是台湾拿下。 台湾是第一岛链的中间那个位置，台湾打下是不是我们直面太平洋了？是不是？整个地缘那个位置就改善了吧？
So a lot of commentators have talked about the same point regarding how the so-called first island chain matters to the CCP as they need direct access to the Pacific Ocean. So this is a map of the first island chain. The red line represents this chain, which has played a very important role during and after World War II in terms of blocking the CCP. So the CCP, of course, wants to break this chain by occupying Taiwan. Now let's go to benefit 2.
第二呢，台湾解决我们100年国耻就彻底就翻过去了。台湾是100年国耻的最后一页，是吧？这一页解决，是不是100年国耻翻过去？我们中国人的心态会健康得多，自信得多。
So this 100 years of humiliation or century of humiliation has always been the most important talking point for the CCP to incite blind nationalism, as it is almost the last straw the CCP can hold on to justify its rule in China. Michael Pillsbury, a China expert, has discussed this 100 years of humiliation mentality in detail in his book. So the title of his book is The 100-Year Marathon, China's Secret Strategy to Replace America as the Global Superpower. So if you are interested in learning more, please get a copy of that book and read it. Now let's go to benefit 3.
第三呢，台湾解决当然那就彻底奠定了习近平新时代中国特色社会主义时期的那个内涵嘛，对吧？
This one is very short, but very important for us to understand why unifying Taiwan is so important for Xi Jinping. Xi obviously wants to establish and leave behind his own legacy, one that is as great as Chairman Mao's. If Mao had established the new China, what can Xi Jinping do to be as great as Chairman Mao? Perhaps taking back Taiwan is his only choice. Now, let's see benefits 4.
第4嘛，就是我军的地位肯定会上一个台阶啊。大家注意到没有？这72年呢，建国以来，我军打了很多仗，很多仗艰苦卓绝，很伟大啊。但是从历史的还有国际比较，从历史比较、国际比较2个角度看，我军迄今为止打的所有的仗全部是自卫反击战，是不是？都是别人打到我家门口了，我去自卫反击一下，是不是？台湾是第一个我爷爷丢的一块领土，我给他拿回来，是不是？抗美援朝是立国之战，打完了没人敢侵略我们了。台湾是统一之战、复兴之战。这一仗打完，我军的地位绝对上一大台阶。
Did you notice? He said the war to resist the U.S. aggression and aid Korea was the war that founded our nation. The CCP always calls the Korean War fought between North Korea and South Korea from 1950 to 1953, the war to resist the U.S. aggression and aid Korea. And it always tells Chinese people if we had not sent troops to fight against the American invaders, our dear motherland China would have been occupied by Americans long ago, and the Chinese people would have all become slaves of Americans. So everybody in China now should thank the CCP and Chairman Mao for preventing that from happening. Recently, the CCP released a magnificent movie to glorify that war. Let's see a picture or a poster of that movie. So, which is called The Battle at Lake Changjin. Lake Changjin is the Chinese way of saying it. In the US, it is called Lake Nagatu. So let's see a few pictures that is captured from the trailer of the movie. So they really invested a lot into this movie to show that it's a hard war and a great war fought by the CCP Army to win that war, to resist the US aggregation. So although the truth of that war is the North Korea invaded the South Korea and the US Army got involved as part of the UN force, but the CCP's army suffered 10 times or more casualties, and thousands of their soldiers actually were frozen to death because the CCP didn't give them warm clothes and just sent them to Korea to die. All these facts did not stop the CCP from glorifying the war as its founding war for the CCP's new China. So Xi Jinping needs something similar to glorify himself too. The new movie, The Battle at the Lake Changjin, was just released during the CCP's National Day holiday, but it was so hot that it broke the record of box office revenue. On its second day of release, that was on October 1st, it broke the single-day box office record in China, reaching 389 million yuan for one day. 1 week later, on August 10th, the revenue reached 3 billion yuan. So that's how popular this movie is. I heard schools are asking parents to take their children to the movie and take pictures of them inside the cinemas to prove that they had watched the movie. So this is a brainwashing movie of the CCP. Brainwashing or not, what we should be concerned about is this. Why did the CCP spend so much money to create such a movie and release it now? Okay, now let's go to the benefit 5 of Jin Chan's speech.
第5是很实惠了，打下台湾立马就把台积电就国有化了嘛，对不对？那个加上了美光啊，加上我们的中芯呐。
Did you notice the applause of the audience after he says that we can immediately nationalize TSMC after we take back Taiwan? So TSMC is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. It is producing 56% of chips for the entire world and is worth more than $565 billion US. It is the 10th most valuable companies in the world. In the meantime, one of the CCP's most important companies, Huawei, couldn't even make a new smartphone after the US cut chip supplies to it. See the difference? So the CCP really does have one more motivation to invade Taiwan. Now, let's go to benefits.
第6呢，台湾解决啊，实际上是那个对我们的政治安定非常有好处啊。我个人认为啊，台湾呢应该是我们中国大陆颜色革命的主要策源地。当然它是跟美国配合的啊，美国台湾配合，但是台湾是主要策源地。就是大家注意到没有？就是后面出钱的主要是台湾，对不对？民运分子啊，这个后面出钱的主要是台湾。港独、疆独、藏独后面出钱主要是台湾嘛？在我们那个网络上定期发谣言，扶植那个反党大 V、恨国党啊，都是台湾。
So from this, we can see that what the CCP really feels most about Taiwan is Taiwan's democracy and freedom. You know, when the CCP force people, it always says that the quality education level or whatever level of Chinese people is too low, or the national character of Chinese people is not suitable for democracy. But people would ask, how about Taiwan? Taiwan has the same Chinese culture and the same Chinese people. Why is Taiwan suitable for democracy, but mainland China is not? So in this sense, Taiwan will always be a thorn in the CCP side. That's another reason why the CCP wants to eliminate Taiwan's democracy and freedom. Now let's go to benefit 7.
第7个，台湾解决社会安定会好一些。为什么呢？
The reason he gives out is that 90% of telecommunication fraud is committed by Taiwanese. I don't know how true this argument is. Maybe he just wants to make the benefits numbers to 10, so he puts this one there too. Now, benefit
第
8.
8是什么呢？台湾解决其实对我们沿海经济会有好处的，会上一个台阶。为什么？
So his arguments are, in order to liberate Taiwan, the CCP has to build a lot of military bases along the coastline. After Taiwan is conquered, the CCP can move all these bases to the east of Taiwan, so China's economy won't be affected. He also says that flights in the southeast coast area in China are often delayed, and 70% of the delays are caused by military operations or reasons. Because the military aircraft need to fly, civil flights have to wait. He also says that after we take over Taiwan, we can have our aircraft fly to Japan and Australia's directions every day to do exercises and let their flights be delayed instead. Now, benefit
9呢，台湾就是我们真是一个外交软肋，挺难受的。那我们美国天天捏我们，很多别的国家也欺负我们，甚至非洲国家都欺负。很多非洲国家，他那个领导人跑到中国也没什么事儿，就到北京看看，吃好东西然后见习主席就一句话，坚决支持一个中国政策。台湾中国是中国不可分割一部分。讲完了，马上就要钱了，说老大意思一下吧。他真的要，他脸皮很厚。每年有清华的老师统计，每年大概我们为了维持这个原则，要花300亿人民币，每年，这个代价还是很大的，对不对？哎，这第9我们就没了。
I must say I was a little surprised about how frank he was when he admitted that the CCP has to pay 30 billion yuan, or about $4.65 billion US every year, to bribe those African countries for them to say we support one China policy and Taiwan is part of China, etc. So of course this is a big financial burden for the CCP. Now let's go to the 10th and the last benefit.
第10很重要，就台湾解决还真就是确立了中国新的国际威望。那么很有可能这一个晚上国际格局就变了。这个，因为如果我们坚决的把台湾拿下，美国呢无能为力，只能在那瞎嚷嚷，对吧？那国际上形象就变了。大家知道，哇，原来那个老大不行了，身体虚了，知道吧？新老大来了，哎。他们绝对不会就很多人担心台湾解决全世界跟着美国围剿中国，真不是，因为我算跑的比较多的，我去美国100多次，韩国100多次，别的国家跑了80多个吧，都是机会主义国家，没原则的，知道吧？谁老大跟谁跑的，大家一看哇，新老大来了，我告诉你，谁都不会跟那个老大跑的，知道吧？跟老大跑。就是45年当汉奸，49年加入国民党，知道吧？没人干那个事儿。那个，我觉得台湾拿下绝大部分国家都是开始转向中国，他们很势利很实惠的。那个，所以我们后面的国际格局是很好的
Now, that is another real admission from the CCP guy about the CCP's ambition to become the new boss of the world. The CCP has a very famous term to describe all important battles, And the term in Chinese is 你死我活, which means you die, I survive, or you die, I live on. So in the CCP's eyes, the game is always about you die, I survive. And I really want every politician in the world, especially from Western countries, to watch how this CCP guy describes them as very snobbish, very practical, opportunist countries without principles. They will run after whoever is the boss. To be frank, I kind of agree with this CCP guy in this argument of his. If we look back at the history of the past several decades, we will find that what this guy says has a lot of truth in it. Haven't many politicians, elites, acted exactly like very snobbish, very practical opportunists without principles? To be able to make money in China, they don't care about principles. I think now everybody in the world is paying a price because of this. So that's why I think everybody should watch this video. Now, the ending part of his speech.
我们国际关系学界啊，它一大块是战略学嘛。战略学告诉我们，就是说，你怎么在战略上确立你的领导地位啊？有个3部曲的。第一步，你要有力量，真的有力量。没力量去闯荡江湖，我们很快就被人家打死了。真的有力量啊，功得练好才能出山。第二，你要有意志，真敢用力量。第三呢，你真得用意志，知道吧？这个时候人家就服了。咱们国家呢，应该讲呢，攒力量是可以了啊。那么现在习主席领导之下，也有意志要用啊，但是真的还得用一次，知道吧？那么台湾用完了，我估计就行了，是吧？就达到这个目的了。
So, this is his conclusion. He's trying to tell Xi Jinping, now we've accumulated enough power, enough strength. Now it is time for us to display our will to use this power once and for all to achieve our last great strategic goal. Well, according to the Chinese characters on his computer, this speech was done in Taiyuan City in China, probably on August 22nd, and was one of the series lectures called Beautiful Life Shared with 10,000 Families. Reports about that event have been deleted from the Chinese websites. When I did the translation yesterday, the reports were still there. Maybe after I translated this video and released both the video and the English and Chinese transcripts of his speech, the CCP thinks too many national secrets were exposed, so they deleted those reports. By the way, the entire 10-minute video of Jin Chan's speech is on another channel called Inconvenient Truths, first-hand from China, so you can go watch that entire video if you want to. If you want to save time, you can go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com, jenniferzengblog.com, to read the transcript both in English and Chinese languages of his speech. Well, that's all for today. If you like my content, please do subscribe to and share my channel. Please also like my videos and leave some comments to let me know what you think. Thank you very much. See you next time.